Hi class, today we're going to learn how to use the Shape Builder tool in Illustrator. So we need Illustrator up and running, and then we're going to start a new file. I'm going to come to the left here, push new file. I'm just going to select this letter template from my recent items. If that isn't showing up to you, you can go up to the top here to print, and there should be a template, a letter size template for you. I'm just going to leave everything the same, except I'm going to call this Shape Builder Tool. So I'm going to title this over here, and then I'm going to create it. So I'm going to go ahead and save this to get started. So I'll go to File, Save. I'm saving to my computer. You can save to the cloud if that's your preference. I just don't have reliable internet all the time. So it's going to save this as the Shape Builder Tool AI file, which is an Adobe Illustrator file. For you guys, this should be in your Illustrator Basics folder in your homework folder. So you can go ahead and save that there. Okay, so the Shape Builder tool is the one over here in your toolbar. It has two circles and an arrow, and it is used to create new shapes by combining and erasing parts of simpler ones. So the way we get started with that is to draw some shapes. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool to draw some shapes, and I'm just thinking about some sort of really fluffy cloud that would have different dimensions here. So I'm going to draw some overlapping circles. Okay, that should work. So my circles all have a fill in them of white, and so I actually want to take the white out of it so that I can show you how those circles are overlapping. So I'm going to press V with my selection tool, and I'm going to drag a box around all of those circles. I'm going to go to my fill over here on the right hand side and do the little dash to get rid of the fill so you guys can see these overlapping. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can definitely work along with me if you'd like. So now that we have all of these circles drawn, we need to select them in order to use the Shape Builder tool. So again, push V, just drag over all of those circles, and now that they're selected, you can press the Shape Builder tool. Now when you hover over, you're going to get kind of a gray meshy type of grid. When I first do this, it's going to have a plus sign on it. So if I just click and drag a line through various shapes, it's going to combine those shapes together. Okay, so we end up with some kind of, all right, if you messed up, just Command Z. I just wanted these two. You end up with a shape that's created out of these overlapping shapes. Okay, if I go back, you can also delete things. So if you can hold down Option, or on a Mac, I believe it's Control on a PC, you can also erase things. So maybe I just want to erase some of these shapes, okay, and create something that looks a little bit different. Then I might add some together again. So you can either add or subtract shapes using the Shape Builder. So I'll show you how I can make this into a neat looking cloud. So I'm just doing Command Z to get back to where my shapes were. So I'm just going to make 3 sections of kind of like bubbles going all together. And so I kind of want this part to be all together. So I'm going to combine all of these little shapes to create this first bubble of my cloud. I'm going to create another one here. And then this last one is kind of behind. Okay, so now we have kind of this bubbly looking cloud. So one thing to know about Shape Builder is you can also just easily fill different spaces with color. I'm going to come over here to my fill, and I'm just going to pick varying shades of gray. So for the first one, I'll just pick this one, click off the color palette, and then when I come in here and click, it's going to apply that color to that one. If I come back to my color swatches, pick a little bit darker, put a little bit darker color there. Maybe this is a really dark storm cloud. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out, Command minus, just kind of take a look at this. So that's how to use the Shape Builder tool to build a more complex shape out of a simple some simple ones. So we did some circles. So to get out of here, I'm just going to push V. I'm going to click off of it. So now I have that cloud. You can also use it. You can use this with any kind of shape, combining shapes. So let's go ahead and use the polygon tool, and I'm just going to do some triangles. So I'm going to click after I've selected my polygon tool for 3 sides, and it's going to create a triangle for me. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the bottom here. So for my triangles, maybe I'm going to make some mountains with varying sizes of triangles. So I'm actually just going to Command C, copy, Command V, and paste this. And I have my smart guides on. If you guys see this little pink lines showing up, that is under View, Smart Guides, and that helps things to like snap into position. So that's why my things are snapping at the bottom here, kind of into position. Can also select all 3 of those triangles. Command C, Command V, and then I can move them all and kind of keep working on this pattern here. Okay, so now I want to use the shape builder tool to make some interesting triangles in these. Maybe they're trees, maybe they're mountains. So I'm going to use V, I'm going to select all of those triangles, then I'm going to go to my shape builder, and I'm just going to combine some of these to make an interesting sort of design. So you can be really, really creative with this. This is just the basics of this tool. Okay, so now I have these all selected. So now let's see, I'm going to pick some different colors of green. There are some greens in this palette. I'll show you some different ways to apply color later, but I'm going to pick this light green, and I'm going to click on a few of these. Put a light green in there, and then a little bit darker green. What else do I like to throw in with green sometime? Maybe some yellow. And a little bit of pink. Maybe pink over here too. Okay, so now we just have an interesting design made out of triangles, and we use the shape builder to add or subtract. So I do want to show you, I could also subtract some of these triangles, and if I hold Option, so then I would have a different sort of design. I would have some negative space in here. So you can also subtract different parts. Maybe you're trying to form some letters or something like that, so you can subtract different parts, and your design will be, yeah, just completely unique. Okay, so those things were made out of, those were made out of, oops, sorry. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'm just going to move this guy over a little bit so I have more room. So you can make shapes out of abstract shapes, but you can also, you can make things out of shapes, or, you can do something that's a little more abstract. So if I put an item here, you guys have learned how to use the pen tool. If I just made some straight lines on this circle, and just made some sort of design here. You can also do something that's completely abstract, okay? So I need to select all of the things here to use my shape builder tool. So I'm going to push V. This pen line is selected, and then I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to select on that. I'm going to select that circle. So now when I do the shape builder, I can create kind of some interesting shapes. And this would be something that's a little more abstract. I'm going to use this and combine these. Looks like, okay. I'm going to combine these guys. I might subtract this one and this one and this one. Combine those. Okay, do this one too. And now I'm just going to apply some color to this so you can see what we've done. So I'm going to pick some orange, stick that in there. Okay, Okay, it looks like those shapes actually combine together. Didn't know that was happening, but I actually might leave these just open and white, kind of like those, but you can also create really interesting abstract designs. So that's just a little bit on the shape builder tool. There's a lot more we can do with it, but those are the basics. Okay, get on to the next video.